Translating the lines is a practice as research project of visual and performing arts which observes, debates, and documents some aspects of the journey of my life and the process of my work over a number of years, which has begun before this thesis and carry on after. In doing this, I use more than one medium, and I try to identify the commonality of the visible and invisible lines which appears in my work during the process of making. Well, translating the lines, where the lines begin, where the line starts. It starts by moving one single dot. What is the movement? The movement is changing the position of that very single dot against a constant point. And what is that constant point? To me, that is the center of the gravity. And that is the beginning of life of a line. The always question, to be or not to be. To be is the question. As a human being, I share the same instinct with the other creatures, and that is, I endeavor to stay alive as long as possible. To achieve that, I need food, I need shelter. And that, together with avoiding dangers or escaping from dangers or fighting any danger, allows me to live as long as my body can survive. However, that is not the end of the story. As a human being, just like other creatures, there is another way of living as long as I can, and that is not just within the skin of my body, but through passing on my genes to another creature. And that new creature can live my genes and prolong the life of my genes and my physical characteristics on this planet. As a human being, I have a single sex, and to pass on my genes, I need to find another set of suitable genes that together we create a new creatures who can carry on our genes. But how can I find a suitable host or suitable partner for my genes to go along with those genes on this journey of life? Because I am choosy. I'm not happy with any old and diseased and handicapped genes. I choose the best and healthiest set of genes. And usually the indication for somebody who has the best set of genes appears on their appearance. They look healthy. However, their health is recognized by me in form of beauty and physical attraction. Somebody who has clear and shining skin, shining hair, bright and shining eyes. These are just not signs of beauty, but signs of health. So the signs of health disguise themselves culturally and perhaps otherwise in form of signs of beauty to me. I do the same thing. I demonstrate my health to other opposite sex by appearing beautiful, but looking beautiful is actually underneath is looking healthy. And that is where attraction starts between two members of opposite sex. Therefore, instinctively, these search for health, for a healthy partner, come across and search for beauty and leads to praise and appreciation for beauty. A healthy partner moves in a certain way. Their movement shows their health. They are fit. They move well. Therefore, if I move well as well, it demonstrates to others that I am healthy. They think I'm attractive. And they are attracted to me. And then I can choose the healthiest partner to pass on my genes to. The movement has a great importance in demonstrating beauty and health. Gradually, these movements become stylized. They assume a form and a flow which is different and more stylized than just a movement, because as a human I have developed the instinct, or I have evolved my instinct for choosing a healthy partner, to choosing a beautiful and attractive partner who moves beautifully. Leave that aspect alone for now. Coming back to human instinct, which is desire to live as long as possible. We want to be alive. We need to be alive. And we need to check all the time and make sure that we are alive. To start with, to ourselves, and then to the environment and to other people, especially to the opposite sex. In order to prove that I'm alive to myself, the first thing that I can do is to move. When I move, that is a confirmation to myself that I'm alive. I move my body against the center of the gravity, which is a constant point, because always movement is a relative change of position against a constant point. And that very constant point is the center of the gravity. Now, as a human being, like many other animals, I try to leave trace of my movements. Now, this trace of my movement is a line. Therefore, lines on their own do not exist because it's just a trace. They're invisibles. They're invisible. However, I try to make them visible. I can't make the movement visible, but I can make the trace of them visible by using some form of tools. Like this paintbrush. I need some paint. I need a canvas, and then I can make a trace of my movement, the movement of my arm and hand visible on the canvas. But paint, brush and canvas is not the only way that I leave a trace of my existence, of my life behind. There are other ways that I can leave trace behind. One of the very important and common tools that I use to leave my trace behind is the memory. Is the memory that you have, is the memory that I have. Basically, as a dancer, or somebody just moves without the use of your memory and mine, there is no such a thing as movement, stylized movement of a dancer. Because if there is no memory as a canvas to leave the trace of these movements on, the movement is just a set of positions. And that is only the memory that can register and link these set of gesture to one another and make a line of movement for a dancer, for example. Or for a musician too, for somebody who composes. Without having a memory, a piece of music is just single bits and single squeezes of sounds or sequences of sounds which stands on its own, and it's only our memory that relates these set of sounds to each other and make a melody. And here, an invisible line of music or an invisible line of a dancer's movement creates and is registered in my memory and yours. So that is why I think recognition of lines and creation of lines have a great importance in our lives as human. Because these set of lines that we create while we move as I mentioned earlier, demonstrates my health, therefore creates attraction. So the more stylized these movements are, the more beautiful they look. And the more beautiful they look, the healthier the opposite sex think I am. Another instinct of human being is curiosity. As a creature, we are curious, especially as a human. We are curious to find the best genes available in our environment so we can choose the healthiest set of genes. This curiosity doesn't stop there. All the time plays up in our mind and brings questions. This instinct of curiosity, the instinct of appreciation and search for beauty, and the need to prove and test that I'm alive all the time, to myself and to the environment, together makes me a human who is interested in beauty, who has interest in recognizing and appraising and praising the beauty. And that is the beginning of art. Now, as a human who recognizes beauty, who appreciates beauty, and who would like, as an urge, has to leave marks behind, trace mark behind, to prove to myself and to you and to the environment that I'm here, can develop different formats and different skills in leaving marks behind. Therefore, different formats and different art formats are created: music, dance, painting, drawing, sculpting, calligraphy, and with the use of technology, of course, photography, etc., etc. However, I believe, because the very reason for these art formats coming to play, coming to existence, is the same. Therefore, these art formats have a commonality of form, commonality of reason for being. And as I said, they're all invisible unless we use and choose some tools to make the trace of them visible. Remember, we can't make the movements or the lines of the movements visible. We can only, by the use of a tool or a set of tools, make these traces of the movement visible, like paintbrush, canvas and paint, or the canvas of the memory of mine and yours.